balls. Freaking balls and wieners. What's good, people of the internet? Today I am going to bulletproof the intake manifold on my Mercedes-Benz. Now, how am I going to bulletproof the intake manifold on my Mercedes? Now, as you guys know, I had the intake manifold on this Mercedes go bad, or sort of bad, so I had to buy a new one. With these Mercedes-Benz, and this is a very common problem, I'm pretty sure I discussed it before in a previous video, but I'll go over it again. This part right here, which is entirely made of plastic, likes to break. This one's completely intact, but I figured, hey, the intake manifold's out of the car, I might as well replace it. I went to, what is it called? Euro Parts, URO Parts. Now, which gives you this guy here, so that's this, that up there, and this part here. So this shaft will now be metal. This little part here. So, what the frick? Something on my foot. Get out of here, fag boy. Oh. So anyway, this part actually feels like plastic. It's kind of weird, so I don't know if there's like a plastic coating on it, but it's definitely a lot heavier duty than this. And then this shaft is definitely metal. It comes with one of these little push lock things, whatever the devil that is, which I do only need one, right? Yeah. And the way that I'm going to do this, so this is the manifold I took out of the car. This is the new one. Basically wanted to transfer everything from this one to this one, except for maybe, well, except for this part, because I don't really have any major concern, but I am going to keep this manifold and all the parts. I actually even wanted to change all the fuel injectors and everything, if it were possible. I don't know how possible that is. So after looking at the intake manifold and realizing I need about a dozen of these to replace the electrical components that I need to, I may make a run into AutoZone just to see if they have them, because I really don't want to put that back on the car, or I mean, these look like it has water damage and everything else, so possible, I don't know. They say on eBay that it worked. I'm sure that it does, honestly, but I just would rather be safe than sorry. Well, before I run into AutoZone, I am going to at least replace the things that I can. The mass airflow sensor and all this fancy little garbage has to come off of this one to go on that one. So I'm at least going to do what I can with this back half, and the front half, I'm honestly still debating whether I even want to replace it, because it is a bunch of extra work. At the same time, I seriously would rather be safe than sorry. Because I'd hate to get it all in there and all of a sudden it doesn't work, and then I'm pulling this whole thing again. Because I would like to trust the guy from eBay. I mean, he has a 99.8% satisfaction, or positive feedback, or whatever it's called on eBay. So I would like to say that it's good. At the same time, it's used, and a used part is a used part. My Mercedes is a 2009. I do know that this is from a 2007. It's 100% the same, but that is 2 years older and could possibly have like 1 trillion more miles on it. I have no idea. So I don't know. I'll see. Woo! trying to do this all with one hand just so I can show you guys a little bit of action. Oh. I honestly have to say, one of the nicest things about this Mercedes is that all of these, gosh, this thing keeps on leaking fuel on me. One of the nicest things about this Mercedes is that every single one of these butts or nuts or whatever are so easy to take out. Boom, that was extremely easy. It doesn't, well, there's kind of a seal there, but I don't know if I need to replace that. Crap, I don't know. I don't know if I need to replace that or not. Honestly, I'm just kidding. I like fixing things right, but I really don't have any desire to sit here and try and order a bunch of stuff, so I'll probably just put that on the way it is. I'll just clean it up nice. But other than that, I suppose that's pretty much it for this guy. Now, one of the things that I really don't like about this manifold is I watched a previous video. I watch all my videos for my videos. The insides of these, or the design of these intake manifolds is genius. The way that these open and close to allow air into the engine just to run more efficient, have a lot more power. It's a great design, but everything inside that is plastic, and that's kind of one of the biggest complaints is they just fall apart. So you're paying all this money for a genius design, but kind of a crappy quality product. In this car, and what upsets me about is this car, I obviously didn't pay anywhere near this much for this car because I bought it used. But this car in 2009 wasn't stickered at this, but actually physically sold in 2009 for $80,000. This is an $80,000 Mercedes Benz, and it has plastic parts in the intake manifold. Mind-boggling, really, and upsetting when you consider the amount of money you pay for it. You must be making hella profit off these cars, because that's ridiculous. It's a beautiful car, I love it, but to be honest, is it worth 80 grand? I don't know. I love it to death, but 80,000 is a lot for this car. So upsetting to see what's put into these intake manifolds, especially when you take into factor just how much time and effort was just put into the thought process into this, the engineering behind this, and then it's built with plastic. But enough ranting, that's not what this video is about, but I just thought I'd show you guys the inside of this, since it's something you don't normally get to dig into, especially with a Mercedes-Benz. So it's always just neat to see what's in your car. This thing kept freaking dribbling some bull crap on me, some fuel, so I thought I'd put the premium fuel in the lawnmower, what was left in my fuel lines, because that's always good, right? Okay, so I'm going to run into town for this part because I really want this done the right way. I was hoping I didn't even pay a lick of attention to what was holding those on, so unfortunately I have to run into town, but it's okay. I kind of have to run into town for a few other things anyway. So, off to town we go. Woo! Get you some, boy! I don't even know what was just playing. Freaking SoundCloud's full of bull crap.
When you say it like that, got me falling right back.
Great news. AutoZone had what I was looking for the most part. Unfortunately, it comes in this sorted container, and I'll probably never use the rest of these. But at least by the looks of it, I'll be able, excuse me, to complete this job. Okay, so after dinking with this for a while, I realized that these aren't going to come off anywhere nearly as easily as I thought they were going to. So what I did instead, I'm going to put a few of those little connector deals back on. I took these off, cleaned them up. They actually cleaned up pretty well, just as good as the other ones. And then I'm going to take connector grease, connector protector, whatever, and I will put that on there, and hopefully it's good. I mean, if it really comes down to it and it's just they're bad, then I'll be back to pulling it out. But I honestly feel like they should be alright. I haven't read anything about these like going bad or it being a common issue. It's really just this is the focus on the internet, so I'll just keep to replacing this and this like the original plan, and well, actually this was the original plan. You get what I'm saying. I'm just gonna put these back on. Okay, I'm sure they're gonna be like hella people pissed off with me for some unknown reason. So these are like, again, this happens all the time. I got them from AutoZone and they were just a bazooka millionth of a fraction too big to fit on this. So what I did is I literally took the ones that are on here, brushed them off, flipped them around, and stuck them back on there. And to be honest, it seems like it's holding them just fine. So some people might be like, well, Kevin, that really wasn't a bad idea. Others might be like, you can't freaking reuse those. You're so stupid. But either way, it's on there. I just wasted a trip into town, kind of. I still had to run into town, but I'll go ahead and get to this now. Okay, so there are already videos like this on YouTube, but I have to take this arm off, this arm off, this arm off, and this nut out. I'm going to put lithium grease on these three, and hopefully, theoretically, they should just pop right out, and then I will undo that. Should be relatively simple, but there are a lot of videos that show you to do this. Alright, so I got the plastic part off, the little nut. I got this almost off. I went ahead and sprayed some grease on that so that can have time to soak in there. Let's see, what am I doing? Oh yeah. Now I'm going to take a little bit of time to clean the excuse me. I'm going to take a little bit of time to clean this part of the manifold because there's a little bit of oil residue and stuff in there, and there's also little pieces of styrofoam, and I do not need that in my life. Okay, so as I'm sitting here cleaning this, and this is just me thinking, if you have the money to buy a new one, I would say get a new one, simply so you don't have all this residue and stuff in here, because I mean, this is what's coming out of here. Now, I guarantee you that mine has it, but it would just be nice to, I would feel better putting a nice clean one on my car. And I mean, I had the money to buy the new one, but it really, I mean, it's literally triple the price of this one here. And I don't know, you probably still get styrofoam in that. I mean, there's a lot of freaking styrofoam in this. So here are the two different little parts. And right off the bat, I mean, I said that this one feels like plastic, and it still does to me, but it's definitely much sturdier than this piece. I mean, this really is like, this isn't even just a piece of plastic, it's like a flimsy piece of plastic. So this will definitely do its job, and hopefully for a long butt time. There's the new little nut that goes with it. I got this off, and I was able to put the new little whatever that thing's called. So I'll get back, or I'll get to putting this, all back together. And I really wish I could get this into the car tonight, but obviously that's not going to happen. But it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow. It'll still definitely be ready for H2OI, boy, get you some. I went ahead and put it all together. Just a few, get this crap out of my freaking way. Just a few pointers. If you're gonna, when you go to take these off, just finesse them. I really had to be careful with them because I really felt like I was gonna break them. But it's on, and it's a much smoother action. Before it was like it sounded like garbage. So that's on. All metal parts, awesome. And now I was going to take the fuel rails off and replace the injectors with the one that I have, or the other injectors, wherever that intake is. I decided not to, A, because it was a real pain in the rear, B, because these actually are relatively clean. I flipped both the manifolds over, looked at them. These on this one were actually cleaner, so I just kind of cleaned them up a little bit. Fuel rails themselves are fine. I took the mass airflow sensor and the butterfly valve. I don't, excuse me if I'm wrong with what that's called, butterfly valve, whatever the freak that's called. Clean that up big time. There's oil and stuff on it. But this intake manifold is actually significantly cleaner than the other one on the inside. I kind of wiped it down, vacuumed it out. It was cleaner to begin with, but now it's like really clean. So this car should be like hella clean for H2OI. I mean, I'm actually almost glad that this happened, as weird as it sounds, because I was about to do an oil change, but this happened just beforehand. And how I said stuff got down in my valves, I'll like run it for a day like that, then change the oil, get the gunk out, so I'll have brand new oil filter. The intake manifold's like hella clean. I'll run injector cleaner through it. Freaking shoot, what else? There's like something else that's so. I mean, regardless, this car is gonna be like hella prepped up for H2OI and should run like a freaking dream.
Feeling the sun, party done, shadows walking home. Walking with a game on. You are my kind, classic mind, and you look so fine. Loving the cold, smoke and roll, see your fingers shake.
Alright guys, I'm finally sitting back in the Mercedes. It's technically ready to fire up and see if it runs. I got it all back together, but it's definitely, I've done things similar to this, but I haven't done exactly this, and especially on not this kind of a car. So like I said, she's technically ready to fire, so wish me luck. I really hope this works out. There were a few things that I messed up a little bit on that kind of freaked me out, but let's go. So I'm sitting by my Mercedes-Benz. I don't know if you heard in the video, but the car is hella misfiring. I ran the codes and it said something like 1, 5, 7, and 4 are misfiring. I cleared those codes because I thought they were possibly from where the manifold went out to begin with. I hadn't cleared it since. So I cleared those, ran the car again, ran the codes again, and it just now it says random misfire. So now I am going to replace the fuel injectors with the ones that were originally on the car because I just put the ones on that came with the used intake manifold. I don't I don't really know what else it would be. Spark plugs are the same; those are fine. Coil packs are the same; those are fine. I mean, obviously the wire harness has been tampered with, but everything has been uh, everything was hooked up the way that it was before. So there's no reason that it should be misfiring other than the injectors themselves are bad. Unfortunately, because of this, I had to buy new injector O-rings, and those O-rings set me back a ridiculous 50. It was like $55, which is absolutely absurd. Here is the fuel rail and injectors from the used intake manifold, and that is the O-ring, that tiny, tiny little piece of rubber. So I'm pretty sure they're making, something like 500% profit on those stupid little things, but I am one of those people that unfortunately needs one of those stupid little things. So I have them coming in. The Mercedes will not be up and running possibly until next weekend because that's when they'll be coming in. So unfortunately, I'm sitting here for a week now waiting for my car to possibly get back on the road. And if these injectors are not the problem, I'm going to be really, really pissed off because I will have just pissed $50 down the drain. But I would say that it's really the only thing that it could be because the car ran fine before other than the massive vacuum leak. And now that there's no vacuum leak and it's misfiring, I mean, I'm just making an educated guess at this point, but injectors are the only thing I could see it being. So I'll do those in a week. I'll make a video about it, and I will post it. But until then, I'll see you guys later.